This just got a feminist.
Two to the one to the three. I like good pussy and I like good trees. Smoke so much weed you wouldn't believe, and I get no way.
So what is going on, Startup Kenny here. Now today, before we start this story time, I just want to say, if you guys have Discord, you should totally join my Discord server. Zen Durance, the man himself, is in my Discord server, okay? That is like, you should just join. I mean, Zen, the main man, the legend himself, Zen Nation, is in my Discord server, okay? So you should totally join with him too, okay? Now let's just absolutely attitude adjustment into this story, okay? Now, a little clarification. I'm just gonna say, I'm recording this video on Monday, and I'm uploading it on Tuesday, so when I say today, I'm talking about yesterday, pretty much, okay? Are we all on the same page here? So, it starts off today. I go to school, right? And I sit in the cafeteria, and I don't know. I just didn't really feel like talking to anybody. And Mason Kistler's girlfriend actually was like, "Wow, Sidestop Kenny, you're really quiet today." And I'm just like, I just don't want to talk to anybody, right? So they were talking, and they were talking about a 55-gallon of lube, okay? Gallon tub of lube. And putting it in, and it's in somebody's locker. I don't really know the whole conversation. I just know that it was a 55-gallon of lube they were talking about. My friend Johnny Sanders, he says, yeah, 55 ton. And he meant to say gallon, right? So this, I mean, when he said this, it just went into a whole ordeal. They started arguing about tons versus gallons. How many gallons are in a ton? Just all of this shenanigans, right? While this was happening, the Mexican man sets off a stink bomb. Now, at the time, I didn't know this happened, okay? I didn't even know he literally had any. I didn't even know these really existed, to be completely honest with you. So I'm sitting there, and while they're arguing about gallons and tons, I see the Mexican man with a sweatshirt over his nose leaving the table, and I'm just like, oh no. And once he did this all happened like very, very quickly, by the way. Once he did this, I mean, right after he did this, everybody got up, and except for me, because I was still confused at what was happening, right? And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Because I couldn't smell, and I didn't know what was happening. And so I stood up because I don't know, I just imagined it smelled bad. Even though I couldn't smell it, I knew it was something that smelled bad. So I stood up and I just start walking around, and then the scent came to me, and oh my god, let me tell you, it was not good. I was puking, well, not puking, but like I was gagging so hard, genuinely so hard, right? So I keep on walking around, and I keep on like trying to get to an area where the scent isn't there, because it's just so atrocious, okay? Genuinely. So I'm just like walking around the cafeteria, and you know, so many people are looking because the whole table was evacuated, okay? Everybody's looking, and couple minutes later, I'm out in the bathroom, and let me tell you, this is the only time in my life where I can say the bathroom smelled good, okay? Genuinely, because of how bad this smelled. So, I get into the bathroom, and what do I know? I come back, and literally the whole cafeteria is evacuating. I mean, everybody is just going to the Orange Gym, and I mean, I'm just laughing. I was laughing before because everybody was gagging so hard. Now I'm laughing even harder because you just see all of these kids migrating from the cafeteria to the Orange Gym, okay? I'm just like laughing so hard. This is the only day in my life where I can laugh and I can puke at the same time. It was just so funny. So, the day goes on, right? Now, during the day, this was at breakfast, I mean, not lunch. This was at breakfast, right? So we still have to go through, like, literally throughout the whole day. You know, I get the third period, and this is when I hear so many people, like, just talking about it. You know, oh my god, did you do it? Oh my god, did you do it? Oh my god, are you gonna do it again? Do it again! And this is when I start hearing all this, because in my first hour class, nobody was, not like to this extent. I mean, people were like, wow, that smelled really bad in the cafeteria. But not right now, okay? Not in the first hour. But when I got into the hallway, oh my god, are you gonna do it again? Like I said before, right? So I get the fourth period. Now, Johnny Sanders, they were throwing his name around a lot, like, oh my god, Johnny Sanders did it! Right? So he gets called up to the office, and I'm like, good luck, bud, because I don't know what's gonna happen, right? I'm just wishing my friend good luck. So I always do that too. Like, anytime somebody gets called up to the office like that, I'm always like, you know what, good luck, bud, because they might need it. So he comes back, and he has just a big smile on his face, and I'm like, oh no, what happened, right? So the day kind of goes on, and I don't know when the Mexican man got called up to the office, but I'm going to just tell you what happened with me, okay, and what Kane told me at the end. So I go up to the office, right? I get called up 9th hour, and everybody in the classroom knew what it was for because everybody just starts laughing, and I'm just like, oh no, here we go. So I get up to the office, right? I enter in the office, okay? I go, the classroom I was at in 9th hour is all the way, like, at the end of the school. So I have to walk up pretty much, like, down this really long hallway, take a right, and then kind of walk a little bit, take a left, go upstairs, and just kind of follow my way through the office, right? And that's how you get to the front of the office. I go in there, and I see Kane and Michael Streptococcus, like, 6 feet apart from each other, okay? And I'm like, oh no. Kane doesn't really look all that happy. Well, obviously not. He's in the office, right? So I go in there. The assistant principal is like, okay, you can go in there, because he was kind of like walking around a little bit. I went in there. I'm greeted by my school resource officer, which is the first time I've ever had to deal with him. So I'm like, what's going on? And so I was going to say, but my assistant principal comes in, and, he's kind of doing the basic, like, when you get in trouble, that's pretty much the basic thing, what happened, who did it. And honestly, I swear to God, at this time, I legitimately didn't know who did it. Like, I didn't even know, I didn't even know, literally anything at all. So I say the truth, the honest truth, and I'm like, I honestly have no clue. Right, and he was like, because I was sitting at the third, seat at the table, and he was like, you're sitting diagonal from 2 guys, because I was right in the middle, and, I should have seen it, and I'm like, nope, I don't know who did it. If I knew, I would tell you guys. So the school resource officer steps up, and he's like, yeah, this is a criminal offense. And I start laughing. I genuinely laugh at that. Because, come on, setting a stink bomb off in school shouldn't be a criminal offense. So I'm just like, you have to be kidding me. A criminal offense. And he's like, no. And I'm just like, I couldn't think of the word. I was so dumbfounded. Literally so dumbfounded. I couldn't even think of the word dumbfounded. I'm like, and he was like, dumbfounded, but that's a law? Yeah, I know, me too. And he pretty much goes on to say, if you don't tell me who did this, we are going to have to charge all of you kids with this charge. And I'm like, oh no. I was shook, okay? Don't tell me that you wouldn't be shook in a situation like this. This is like my first ever situation like that. Of course I'm gonna be shook. So, I mean, getting detention is pretty much like a walk in the park for me right now. Getting charges brought up, getting charges pulled out like that is just like, okay, I was shook, okay? I was genuinely shook. And, I'm like, I don't know. I would tell you guys if I knew, because I genuinely didn't know, right? And he was like, well, can you just, give out, a couple names or a group of, part of the kids that could have done it? And I'm like, I don't know anybody. Literally, if you look at the person I am and the people I hang out with by the the stories I tell, you genuinely couldn't know if it was me or if it was anybody else, right? So I get out of there and, I look at Kane, and Kane just kind of like gave me a thumbs up, or like in the middle or bad, and I gave him a thumbs up because it wasn't that bad. I mean, I'm not gonna get a charge over it, and it wasn't that bad, right? Go out through the day. At the end of the day, I go talk to Kane, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting charged with it," and I'm just like, "Yeah, At the end of the day, like, I realized that the only reason why they said that in the first place was to scare me. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't scare me. It just had me a little shook, okay? It had a fella shook. So, he was like, yeah, I have to pay a $500 fine. Now, the reason why, and I tried telling them this, like, yeah, that makes sense, is because, none of them got it either, because I hang out with a bunch of retards. Anyway, the reason why is because if you set one off, you can hurt somebody that has asthma, right? That's the only reason why he got a fine for it, because it can hospitalize people. That's literally the only reason why, because of how bad it is. So, yeah, none of them got it too, because I hang out with actual retards, by the way. So, yeah. Now my friend has to pay $500 fine. Can we get an F in the chat for that? Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys in the next video.